Hello everyone, I'm Deborah Kozlovic and I'm a Creative Memories Independent Advisor from Australia. Welcome to Creating Your Memories. Today I want to share with you a very simple layout that anybody could do. Creative Memories have just brought out their new Christmas collection, which is called Christmas Charm, and with that collection they always bring out a couple of punches, and the punch that they've released this year with their Christmas collection is ribbons and bows. And with the ribbons and bows, it punches out a really nice bow, and they're easy enough to cut out individually if you need a bow for a present or anything like that. You can add that to your pages for any kind of embellishment or style to give it a little bit of a jazz. So today I want to show you this technique, which is done with the Jumbo circle, and I'm going to be calling it the circle of bows. And I want to show you how I've done that today. So of course we will be using the punch, which is the ribbons and bows punch. It's a decorative border punch. And as you can see on the layout, I've actually punched out two different colors, which is from the gold shimmer and just our normal red cardstock. So I was thinking about putting it on our green cardstock, and I've backed it with the shimmer, which is from the circle that I cut out to make the bow. So I've reused that, so there was no waste, and I've just pre-cut down I think it was like 1/4 inch of two sides, and then placed it on the gold shimmer. So I was thinking about probably off-centering it a little bit on my layout, and then having the two photos in the middle vertical. So to complete this layout with me today, you're welcome to all just scrap along with me. You're going to need your 13 by 13 inch cutting mat. You need a piece of cardstock, or you might want to use a piece of designer paper. You can use the shimmer. I use the shimmer. The shimmer is very not flimsy. I wouldn't say flimsy, but you just got to be careful the way you pull it out, because the little ribbon things on the bottom do get caught a little bit. So you need the piece of cardstock, the jumper circle with the red blade, a pencil and a ruler, your microtip scissors, and of course the ribbon and bow punch. Okay, to get started, I'm just going to line up my red cardstock on my 13 by 13 inch mat, and then I'm going to bring in the jumbo circle, and I want to center this jumbo circle in the middle of my cardstock. So I've got roughly around the same distance at each four ends, so that way I can reuse this cardstock as a base, so there's no waste. So then I'm going to be using my red blade, and I'm going to cut on the outside of the jumbo circle. So I'm just cutting around. So when you've done with that, you just want to remove the outer edge and just place that aside. Then remove the jumbo circle. The next step you want to do is get your pencil and your ruler. And if you're using designer paper and you've got the design that you want to use for your layout facing to you, it's probably best to cut that on the opposite side, because what we're going to do is we're going to be using the ruler, and we want to mark our points out, but we want those lines to be long enough so the back of the punch, so we can see from this edge to that edge in the punch. So it's punch properly on that line. So I'm just going to do a line in at my 6 points, and then at the other 6s from top to bottom. And then I want to work on my 30 degrees. So that's just like a clock face going around the clock as into 1 to 12. So we all know how an analog clock works. So I'm just drawing in those lines. So then the same with the opposite side. And with my cutting mat, to make it easy for me, what I've done is I've got a fine Nico pen, and I've made these, you know, like my 30 degrees lines a little bit longer, going on the outside of the mat like so. So that way when I do cut a jumbo circle, I can see where those lines are, because the 45-degree line goes to the end of your mat, but your 30-degree line only goes so far. So what I've done is I've just made that line a little bit longer with a fine Nico pen, so that way when I do cut a jumbo circle, you can actually see those lines without moving your cut out circle. So the next step after we finish drawing those lines is I'm going to be working from the back of the punch, and it's more or less finding your center point in the punch. Now with this punch, there is like a little triangle jagged edge. I'll just get my multi-purpose tool so my fingers aren't in the way, which is just here. So more or less that is the center of the punch, which goes down in the middle of this bow here to that point there. So what I want to do is, that's the reason why I've done those longer lines. So I want to put the line from here to there, so it's connected, so I know that it's just exactly in the middle. So I'll just show you what I mean. So I've got that point on my pencil line, the middle of that bow. So as you can see, it's in the center, and then all I want to do is turning it over and punching. So then what I'm going to do for the next one is I want to do exactly the same thing. So lining up that triangle and in the middle of that bow, like so, and then punch. Always punch upside down, that way you're not getting all those little confetti pieces caught inside your punch, which can cause it to jam up. So I'm just lining it up again in here and on that point, and punch. So I'm going to repeat this process all the way around this jumbo circle. So I'm just lining it up at the center of that bow and then punch. They are little fiddly little bows, I should say little ribbons on the end of those bows, and they do get a little bit caught in the punch depending on how you're moving it around. So maybe just go a little bit slower, so that way it doesn't cause any you know, rips on your paper that you're going to wreck your circle of bows. So I'm just going to line that up again in the center, on the point, and then punch. So as you can see, we're just over halfway now. So we're going to continue that same process. It does make a nice little circle of bows. if you also have this punch, it's going to make some beautiful Christmas layouts. Okay, we've got 2 more to go. So just lining that up in the center and punching. And when you come to the last one, you want to do exactly the same thing, lining up those lines in the middle, just like that, and then punch. Alright, that is our bows. So I'm just going to clear all this rubbish out of the way. Just going to remove my mat. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my multi-purpose scissors. And as you can see, in between each of the bows, you've got that little triangle. And what we want to do is that we want to curve that edge and then go up and around like that. I'll just show you again on one of the previous ones that I've done. Just taking that off. So as you can see on one of the previous ones that I've done here, it's just going down and up. So all you want to do is make like a bow effect so it still stays and it joins together. So you just want to go around and up. So you just want to blend it in and make it look like it's got a bow. And with the bottom one, it's also got little triangle points. So you want to do exactly the same thing. Is going up a little. Just be careful that you don't chop the whole bow off, because you don't want to do that. So going down and up, and then the same with the bottom. So with that, you want to go completely around the whole circle. So as you can see on the layout now, just going to bring in that green cardstock. As you can see, it's all starting to blend in. So then if you want to make another one, as I did with the gold, just bring in that other layout. So when I've done this one, I've actually done the red cardstock, and then I've just used the gold shimmer. So as you can see, you know, like you can see that pencil marking. You can rub that off because it's only lightly done. And I would probably just off center it a little bit like that. And I will complete this one and probably make it into like a double page layout. So I hope you've all enjoyed the simple technique of using the ribbons and bows punch, make it into a circle and bows. Well, I hope you all enjoyed my simple technique of using the jumbo circle and making a circle of bows onto a layout. I hope you all enjoyed this, and until next time, happy scrapping everyone.